How much confidence do you have in Dan Flickinger holding your cell phone? You gave him your cell phone to start this game. I know you had a game to coach, but do you do that often with other people?
Well, the screen was cracked when I got it back, so I don't know what he's doing with it. He might have slammed it or something.
Well, it was really funny because I mentioned I had your phone, and I said, anyone that wants to reach out to us, text Denny's phone, and we'll read your text on the air.
Yeah. Well, I've told you to give me the updates, and you didn't do that.
I didn't. I know.
So Emma's team was, they were playing at the same time, and Amy was sending me updates. So
I think last time we were here, we were watching Bloomsburg finish off a game.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, first off, how does this feel getting a win? I would say a much-needed win, especially how the start of the season has been, and you guys getting in a way, scoring 10 runs also.
Yeah, I hate the term must-win, but this was. There's no doubt this was. We had to come out and win, and we went down early, and I was, I found myself moping a little bit, and I just said, I better pick it up, so the girls will pick it up, and they did. They rose to the occasion. Again, pinch hitting. It's just I don't ever know who I'm going to bat for, but I always have a gut feeling about who to put in, and that really helped.
Well, you seem to have a gut feeling about Lauren Seppi and put her in as a pinch hitter. How much confidence has that given you as a coach now that you've seen what she can do, obviously in the practice field, but now in live game action when her number's called and she steps up to the plate literally and answers the call?
Hey, she did her job, and I drew back to last year. We had I think a state game. It was some state playoff game. I did the same thing with her. I brought her in a big situation, and she delivered. And she's been hitting the ball over the field in practice, and that's her way into the lineup. And she's doing a good job with that. So yeah, kudos to her. That's a tough thing to do, is pinch hit.
Now, I know that you lost some very key players from last year, but you bring back 10 returners this year. What was that like for you in the offseason and getting ready for the first few weeks of the year, knowing that you've got a core group of that team from a year ago that made big runs in the championship?
Well, you never know what they expect. I expected offense. I expected to have offense, but I've expected also we need to score 10 runs, 8 runs, 7 runs, because we have a young group of pitchers, and they're freshmen. And Cam's not really. She has pitched all her life, but she's not really. I don't tout her as a pitcher. She came in and did a great job today, but we have to develop those freshmen. So it's coming in. I didn't know what to expect. I did know that I was we were missing our all-time greatest pitcher, and that's big. And she's also a leader. So she's off at UPJ doing some great things. But it's time we have to turn the page and we have to get these other kids ready. So,
Denny, I thought one of the keys to this game was the way that you guys played fundamentally sound. I know there was a double play that you weren't happy about, but Kiski Area, they made a lot of mistakes defensively, and you guys were fairly clean. How important was that in this game, in a close game like this?
Well, very important. It came down to the last play. Making mistakes or not. And Caitlin kind of misjudged the topspin on that ball, and she went down and she caught it, and it was a tricky play, but she made the play defensively. She did her job, and that got us out of an inning because the girl, at first didn't know if she caught it or not. Mm-hmm. But defensively, we did an excellent job, and we work very hard on defense. So, and we have to have that, with the pitching being young, we have to have that, toughness on defense where we know we're going to be making plays. A lot of times in the past, like I said, I hate to keep referring to it, but our defense with Mia having 400 strikeouts in 3 years, the defense
wasn't a whole lot of pressure on the defense,
it was still good, but it was not a lot of pressure on them. Yeah. Now there's a lot of more pressure on them. So.
Well, and you talked about one of your young pitchers, Haley Pokran, who started today. Is it a case of where you just got to keep rolling out the young pitchers and just keep starting them to get that experience?
That's all we have.
Yeah.
And Haley's done a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
We played Franklin the other day, and they were a good team. And she held them down to minimal runs and kept us in the game. And that's all we ask of her. I think that Kiski's pretty young. And my theory on today was that they are used to that type of pitching. But she keeps us in but with good spin, and she has been my go-to the past few games as one of my freshman pitchers,
Yeah, and I'm sure she'll continue to get better and better under you guys. thoughts about the section? It looks a little different, I guess. You still have Latrobe, but Kiski now in the section. I mean, what do you think?
Kiski's always given us a great game like today.
Yeah.
I mean, I can draw back to 2017 and 18 when we're in the same section. They had Megan, can't remember her last name. They had Megan. She was a pitcher, very good pitcher, and they knocked us off once. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think they beat us twice in like 2 or 3 years. So I mean, they've always been tough against us. That brought another tough team into the section. Franklin, like I said before, they're always there with the hitters, and they have really good pitching. So. And then you add Latrobe, who's up there, and you add Armstrong,
you're thinking.
Albergouten leaving, and then Armstrong coming in. Armstrong, they're still Armstrong. They're a powerhouse. I mean, it's I was very impressed with her outing against Armstrong. We in the seventh inning,
because they got away from you late in the game, right?
Oh,
it was a pretty
2 outs in the seventh.
Yeah,
there was a pretty questionable call by the umpire. It would have been 5-2 at the time, and then it just. They just went off, So I mean, it was, and they pulled out their bats, which they always do. But I was very impressed with her performance.
Well, you'll see him again. You'll see him again.
Oh yeah, and we'll see him again.
Well, last thing for me, for you, Coach, is obviously you want to make it to the WPIL championship and beyond. And you look at last year, you guys had such a great year. Obviously, some different things with this team and different players and whatnot. A lot of same players. But what is something that you've noticed that is similar about this year's team that you also noticed about last year's team?
Nothing. Nothing. There is no similarities. They are good ball players. That's one similarity. I'm sorry. They're good ball players. We just got to find. I feel like I feel like a farmer who's like kind of either I'm waiting for the rain. And the only thing we can do to wait for the rain is develop these kids. And instead of kicking around and being upset. Hey, we're having a rough year. We have to develop these young kids and develop those young pitchers. We also have some kids in 8th grade who can throw the ball. So we got to develop everyone else around to make another run. Will that be this year? I don't know. Will it be late in the year? Could be. We have to develop them for when the rain does come and have them ready. So that's how I look at this team. I mean, when you lose, like I said, I don't want to keep bringing it up, but when you lose Mia, it's, we didn't lose her. She graduated. But when she graduates, there's a big hole to fill. And you got to make sure everybody else is ready. So we have to develop everybody. So,
Caitlin Schlegel's birthday, did you bake the cupcakes?
Oh, no. They wouldn't want those. They wouldn't want those.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't eat them either.
Yeah,
I'd give them a try for you, Coach.
Yeah. Now, they'd want Emma Little's cupcakes. She's a professional baker, but she wasn't around.
That.
Oh, yeah. She's a very good baker. Yes. That's a side business.
I was going to say, what do I have to do is there like a website or something?
She has Emma's Little Cakes, yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so she makes cupcakes. Cool. So, but yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out.
I like the sunglasses, by the way, Denny. Those are nice.
Hey,
I like those things.
I think they're a gift from my wife.
Coach,
well, of course, you didn't pick them out. Yeah, we got to leave it to our wives. So. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Coach.